Thank you, Mataji. Okay, let's start with our bhajan. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshakarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivedanta. Anybody would like to lead for today? Yes.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Louder, Mataji, cannot hear you.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare Krishna.
Carry on.
Hare
Everybody?
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Aibo, thank you, Karti Mataji. Thank you, Brinda Mataji. Okay. Recording on. All right. Let's see. Brinda Mataji, Jai Siran Prabhu, Kaya Mataji, Pushpa Suhasri, Mataji, Vikna. Who's Vikna? Please rename. Okay, where is Sam Prabhu? Okay, all right. Vaishnava Tantriya Sara. Devaki Nandana Krishna Gita Patena Tushyati Yata Navede Danena Yatna Tirtha Vrtatibihi. The son of Devaki, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, cannot be satisfied by anyone's study of the Vedas, charity, sacrifice, pilgrimage, or vows as much as he is satisfied by the devotional recitation of the Gita. So good evening, everyone. Welcome. Let's go to London today. Sri Radha Landanishwara, okay, they were installed in 1969. It's at a Bury Place opposite of British Museum. So Prabhupada is mentioned to be very fond of these deities. At some places it is mentioned that it's Prabhupada's favorite deities. Okay, and he also mentioned that they are most beautiful. Okay, they are on the Soho Street. And near the lotus feet of the Sri Radha Landaneshwara is Giri Govardhan. So if you look closely, it's this is actually a portion of the huge rock of a Govardhan hill, the one that Krishna lifted in Vrindavan. So the hill is still there. And usually the devotees will take a small piece of that Govardhan hill and take it back to worship. And he is called Giri Govardhan. Okay, it's a small sacred stone that is worshipped to honor the Govardhan Hill. Okay, this is the holy mountain of Govardhan Hill. And then they also have Sri Sri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra. Okay, and also they have Gauranitai. Okay, so this is the entire altar. Okay, let's offer our prayers to spiritual teachers because we need their blessings for our understanding. ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिविघ्नविनाश नरसिंह इति नामिने। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देव्ये गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण
Krishna, Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare.
जय श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय।
Jai.
ओके, कार्तिनी माता जी।
Gita Rashe Ham Tistami, Gita Me Paramam Graham, Gita Jnanam Samasritya, Trilokim Palayami Aham. I am present within the Gita, and the Gita is my supreme residence. Only by the knowledge of the Gita do I maintain the three worlds.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. So the Lord is able to maintain the three worlds. With the knowledge, we can at least maintain our family or at least ourselves. All right, we don't have to maintain the three worlds. So that one, the Lord will take care. Okay, so we can take care of ourselves by reading this Bhagavad Gita and then people around us. So it's very, very important. And that is why Krishna has given Bhagavad Gita to a householder, a Satriya, because he's a father, husband, grandfather, and he was going to be king. Okay, so that's Arjuna. So by today, end of today's chapter 12, we would have finished 2/3 of the Bhagavad Gita. Okay, so it's divided into 3 sections. We have finished the first section, which was the Karma Yoga section. A little bit of Dhyana Yoga, Astanga Yoga also was there. And then we went on to do devotional section. Okay, so we are finishing that. All right, and it is not only for grahastas like Arjuna and us, people, working people or students. It is also very relevant to politicians. All right, okay, so let's recap a little bit of yesterday's verse, the last verse. Do you all remember about the devotional service? Krishna say you must be free from certain elements, and what are the 3 works? Do you all remember that? Let me just open up one clue. My dear Arjuna, he who engages in my pure devotional service, free from
Contaminations,
very good contaminations of fruitive activities and
mental speculations,
very good mental speculations. And now what does the devotee do? 3 things.
certainly comes to me.
Okay, that is the goal that Krishna promised. That's a promise that Krishna
A
made.
devotee who works for me.
Yes, he works for Krishna. And then, oh, I revealed
Makes him the
everything.
supreme goal.
Makes Krishna as a supreme goal. And then he is to be
Friend.
friendly to everyone.
Every living.
Yes, every living being. And he certainly comes to me. Okay, so look at this word here, pure devotional service. So look at this word, and that is the title of our chapter 12 today. Even though the entire middle 6 chapters about devotional service, but they were different titles, and we are at the end of this section, and that chapter is called devotional service. Okay, so Arjuna, as usual, he's starting the chapter with a question. He's asking question to Krishna. So remember, there are 3 aspects of the Lord. Do you all remember the 3 aspects? Do you all remember the train story? Do you all remember the light? What are the three ways we can understand Krishna, understand God? Anybody remember? Yamuna Mataji?
Searching for it.
sorry.
Searching frantically.
Okay. Who is Vikna? This is
That's mine.
Param Prabhu, is it?
Param. Yeah.
Okay. I rename for you. All right.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. So Prabhu, do you know what are the three ways we can realize God?
Devotional service.
That is process. Okay, there are three aspects. Okay, my question is three aspects of realizing God. Three aspects of God realization. Three aspects of God realization. So I hope that question is clear now. Three aspects. Because otherwise we wouldn't understand what Arjuna is asking. How can we understand God? Do you all remember the sun analogy?
Oh, brightness.
Yes.
1,000.
No. That one is how when Krishna appears as in the universal form, that is how it looked like. Remember the light of the sun planet, and the Surya Bhagavan himself? Does it ring a bell?
Brahman,
Yes, Brahman. Correct.
Paramatma,
Paramatma,
and Bhagavan.
Very good. Got it.
Oh.
Very good. Correct. Okay. So let's give you a quiz first. Of these three, Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan, which aspect is impersonal? Impersonal means formless.
Paramatma.
Paramatma.
Thank you. Why, Prabhu, you're laughing?
Brahman.
Light, Brahman.
Okay, light is impersonal. So which of these three is light?
Brahman.
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 Brahman. Okay, because it is light. What is the other word that we saw yesterday? It starts with E.
Effulgent.
Yes, effulgent. So if there is a light, then there should be a bulb. All right. So effulgence, light, Brahma Jyoti. So these are the words that you can use to describe impersonal aspect of God. Okay. Brahman means impersonal aspect. Okay. Next is Paramatma. How do we realize Paramatma? Where do we find Paramatma?
In everybody, in everyone.
Yeah, where exactly?
Near the heart.
Yes.
So,
Yes. What is the other word for Paramatma?
Super soul.
Yes, super soul. Very good. Okay, Bhagavan is Bhagavan. We saw this in chapter 10, right? Yes. Okay, so let's move on. So this Arjuna is going to ask Krishna, which is better, personal worship or impersonal worship? So if you see, Brahman is impersonal. Okay, Bhagavan is personal, which means it has form. Personal means form. Okay, Paramatma is in between. So later I will explain that. But the important part here is that we want to distinguish between impersonal and personal. Okay, so we have chapter verse 1 to 7, but we will not cover all. Okay, this is just an information. So we will start with the question from Arjuna. Okay, there's nobody. Volunteer. Anybody would like to go?
Yeah, I will go.
Yeah,
Okay, Prabhu.
Arjuna inquired, which are considered to be more perfect? Those who are always properly engaged in your devotional service, or those who worship the impersonal Brahman, the unmanifested?
Okay, so Arjuna is asking a question. Personal or impersonal? Okay, devotional service means you offer devotional service to somebody. So if you're going to do that, then it has to be personal. All right, so that's why the question is summarized as this: personal or impersonal, which is better? So Arjuna wants to hear from Krishna, which is better. Okay, so Arjuna here is a devotee, right? And he is already happy with the devotional service because he has personal relationship with Krishna and he's already in Bhakti Yoga. Okay, but there, Arjuna also knows that there are people who are not devotee, not devotee of Krishna, but they are on spiritual path, but they worship impersonal Brahman. Okay, they worship the light, the Jyoti. So this is why Arjuna wants to know which is better. So here you can see, you will see whether Krishna is saying this is right, this is wrong, or how. You will see how Krishna is answering that. How exactly Krishna answers that. Okay, this is the question, yeah, personal or impersonal. Okay, so Krishna goes on to answer. Kaya Mataji.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "Those who fix their mind on my personal form are always engaged in worshipping me with great and transcendental faith are considered by me to be most perfect."
Most perfect. Okay, here Krishna is giving direct answer saying that personal is best. Okay, but Krishna never say personal is the only way. He never say that. All right, he says compare among these two, engaging in worshipping me with great and transcendental faith is to be most perfect. So it is between the hard way and the easy way. That's all. All right, there is no right or wrong, or this is the only way. It's not like that. I think somebody has asked this question during the quiz. So this is the answer. Krishna has been giving answers all the while. He never say this is the only way, the rest are wrong ways. No, he may have said this is the only way suitable for people in Kali Yuga. That is possible. That Krishna would have said. All right, this is the only way, that's easy way. Krishna would have said that, but he never said this is the only way to come to me. It's not that. All right, so the option between these two, hard way or easy way. And what exactly Krishna says? What are the things that we should do?
Engage in worshipping me with great transcendental faith, is it?
Okay, what is the
Fix
first
their
one?
mind.
Yes, very good, Mataji. Understood. Fix the mind on his personal form. And remember the word Krishna said, my personal form. He never say any personal form or anything else. All right. Fix their mind on my personal form. Next is
Engage in
Engage in worshipping
worshipping me with
yes.
great and transcendental
Engage
faith.
in worshipping.
Engage in worshipping me with great and transcendental faith.
Transcendental
So these
faith.
are the three important points here. Okay, and Krishna finally says they are the most perfect. Okay, again I reiterate, Krishna never say that any personal form, and he also not saying impersonal, my impersonal form. He also didn't say that. He said you must fix your mind on my personal form. Okay, so there can be two ways going to one place. Okay, or there could be more than one road, but Krishna is saying this is the easy road. Okay, so about the Bhagavan, Brahman, Bhagavan, and Paramatma, if you remember, I have mentioned about this train story. Who remembers and can narrate the differences? Because if you make any mistakes, then this is the chance for me to explain and clarify. Anybody would like to try? Okay, so the story was like this. Three friends went to see the train. Okay, and three people are seeing the train in different ways. So what do you think the first person saw? Okay, the first person, he saw this first picture, whatever is happening in the first picture, and he left. What do you think he actually saw?
Bright light.
Yeah, he saw, oh, the train is all about light. It's a bright white light. Okay, I already understood the train. Okay, bye, I'm going. All right, he left. But the two others stayed on. No, let me see further what is there. So what happened in the second one?
He saw the train.
He saw the train, the engine of the train. And he felt that, okay, the train is all about this engine. Okay, bye, I'm going. Okay. The third person stayed on to to see until the train stops, and then he peeked inside and there was a driver. All right. And this is the person who is operating the train. Without him, the train will not operate. All right. So the third person waited and he met the driver of the train. Any of them wrong here?
No.
No. All right. Because they saw to the extent that they can see. Right. That is the knowledge. The realization of the light, the realization of the engine, the realization of the driver. So that is Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. Same thing goes to the sun. All right. The sunlight, the sun planet, and the person who's residing in the sun god. Okay, so we have two examples here. Yeah, if it's easy for you to explain the differences of these three realization. One sees God as light, one sees God who operates from inside, and one actually sees God as Bhagavan, who has a personal form. Okay, all right, so that is Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. Okay, I want to take this opportunity to, anybody has a question where Paramatma falls, whether it goes to impersonal or it's actually personal? Or shall I keep this for level 3?
In between.
In between. So how?
Please tell Mataji.
Please
The
tell.
soul and the soul.
Okay, so Paramatma is in our heart as super soul. Now, is he in impersonal or is he personal?
It's
Or
in
is it
between.
Personal. Personal.
Personal. Okay. Anybody says it's impersonal?
I
It's
think
both.
it's
It's
impersonal.
both.
Both. Yeah, very good. Okay. And whether it's impersonal or personal, it depends on the objective of the person who is worshipping God in the form of Paramatma. Okay, who actually does this? Trying to realize God inside their heart. Who does that? What yogi is that? Bring in your chapter 6 knowledge.
Meditating. Meditation.
Yes. What is the title of chapter 6?
Bhakti Yoga.
No. Bhakti Yoga here now, 7 to 12.
Dhyana Yoga.
Dhyana Yoga. Dhyana Yoga is part of what yoga?
Astanga Yoga.
Very good. Oh my God, Mataji is so fantastic. Okay. Now, Dhyana Yogi is the person who meditates trying to understand God as super soul. So what they do, they try to do all the Astanga Yoga to come to a position where they can realize God inside their heart. Now, there are two types of Dhyana Yogi. One will try to realize the Paramatma and thinks that he is Paramatma. Okay, before that, what they do is we have to fall back to their objective. They want to do dhyana to get some mystic powers, some yoga siddhis. Okay, so which means they are still on bodily platform, and they don't realize that there is a jiva and there is Paramatma. But what they think, there is only one soul, and that soul is God, and therefore I am God. So this is realizing Paramatma from impersonalist perspective. Okay, so as long as the Dhyana Yogi has a material objective on bodily platform, then he is realizing Paramatma on an impersonal platform. However, if the Dhyana Yogi realizes that he is Jiva and God is there residing as a Paramatma, and he relates that the Jiva is a servant of the Paramatma, then he is actually realizing Paramatma as on a personal platform. In that way, he will engage in Bhakti Yoga and he will move towards Bhakti Yoga. Okay, he will surrender to that Paramatma in that sense and take up Bhakti Yoga. So it's two ways depending on the objective of the Dhyana Yogi. Okay, so it can be two ways. So somebody was right saying that it could be both. All depends in the hand of the Dhyana Yogi. Okay, finally realizing Krishna as he is. Okay, so this is actually not in the lesson, but I'm just putting it in extra. So please remember. Okay, next one, 12.5. Krishna has previously explained about personal. Okay, personal. Why personal is best, and then now he's saying why impersonal is not so best. Okay, Jai Sri Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
For those whose minds are attached to the unmanifested, impersonal features of the Supreme, advancement is very troublesome. To make progress in that discipline is always difficult for those who are embodied.
All right, thank you, Prabhu. Embodied means owning a body, assumed a body. So we are spirit soul, we have taken a body. So we are embodied. We are embodied soul, soul with a body. So that's the meaning of embodied. Okay, so what is the gist of this Krishna is saying here? Who can rephrase for us? What is your understanding here? What Krishna is talking about?
To understand the Supreme as impersonal is difficult, but the person must have a discipline of not being a body and not be embodied.
Yeah, okay.
Must vision it in different way.
Yeah, so thank you, Prabhu. So point number one, Krishna say why it is difficult. What is the challenge in realizing God from a impersonal on an impersonal platform? Because when the mind is attached to the unmanifested means no form, right? Impersonal, the advancement is very troublesome. So this is the challenge. All right. However, Krishna never said that you cannot do it at all. He said to progress in that discipline is always difficult for those who are embodied like us, like normal people like us. Okay, he never says impossible, but he says it's difficult. All right, this kind of aspect actually appeared in chapter 6 previously when Arjuna said, "Oh Krishna, my mind is so troublesome and turbulent." So what solution Krishna gave to Arjuna? Remember? So this is how we connect our previous knowledge. Once the chapter is over, we cannot forget, yeah. Do you see similarity? Krishna will say, right? Yes, I understand it's difficult, but it's possible with what? What and what? How do you encourage somebody to do something? Say, take your child, saying difficult for me to do this, cannot excel in the sport. So what do you do?
Practice and focus.
Okay, practice and focus. All right, you got one correct there. All right, so let's say the person is always on the TV and that is why the person cannot find time to practice. So what do you suggest? I'm trying to, trigger that word from you all. You all forgot.
Prioritize.
Okay, what else?
Hearing and chanting.
Okay, what else?
Discipline.
Getting close.
Continuous practice.
Practice. Okay, we covered practice already. Forgot?
Remembrance.
No. When Arjuna complains that this Dhyana Yoga is very difficult for him, Krishna will give two solutions. Practice and...
Detachment.
Yes, correct. Detachment. Remember not now?
Yeah.
So it is. Krishna agrees that it is difficult, right? Krishna already gave a solution previously. Again, he's saying that to make progress in that discipline is always difficult for those who embody it. Why? Because we have sense enjoyment, there's a possibility that we will fall down and go back to our old habits. All this is difficulty, challenges. So therefore, Krishna is concluding here that path of impersonalism is troublesome and very difficult, though he never say that it is impossible. He's just highlighting the challenges. Okay, and what else? What are the difficulties? You have to be renounced from everything material. You cannot bring along your laptop and phone, go to the secluded place. Okay, so you have to understand certain knowledge about this Brahman realization. So the whole task is rendered difficult. And then it also takes the jnanis to take jnanis a very long time of practice to perfect that. All right, so they have to follow the path of knowledge for a long time. And then the success rate is subject to the discipline. All right, so if you fail, then you have to go up to heavenly planets and come back again. So the cycle continues. So that's why Krishna is saying it's very difficult. It takes time to understand. You may take many lifetime to understand the goal of knowledge. So in the past, Krishna already said the goal of knowledge is to understand him. And to understand him is through Bhakti Yoga, is direct. Okay. So that's conclusion of the, this is the answer for Arjuna's question. Okay.
Excuse me, Mataji.
Yes, Yamuna Mataji.
What was the two solution? Can you please repeat?
What was the two solutions, my
Practice
friends?
and detachment.
Practice and detachment. Okay, the answer in the comment box already, Mataji.
Thank you.
Okay, if anybody can quickly look up that sloka, just put the English translation inside the comment box, okay? It should be in chapter 6, but I don't remember what verse number. Okay, so we are done with the first section, impersonal or personal. All right, so now Krishna will explain how to do devotional service. Okay, some people can be spiritual, some people cannot be spiritual. Some people can be spiritual but do not worship Krishna. So how do they progress in the path of devotion? So this is a very important section. So you may want to reflect and see where do we stand and what can we do about it. 6.35, very good. Can you put the translation, Prabhu, quickly? Thank you. Okay, so how to perform devotional service. So there are 5 levels here. Okay. All right, so please be attentive, right? These 5 levels, level 1, level 2, level 3. These 3 levels are spiritual. Level 4 and level 5, they are not spiritual. Okay, so the first level, it goes like this: the first class of devotee, second class of devotee, third class of devotee. Another way to look at it, if you can't be the first class devotee, Krishna gives the second option. If you can't do this, then Krishna gives another option. And if you can't do this, Krishna gives 2 options. You can do either this. If you can't do that, then you can do this. All right, so Krishna is very kind. He's giving us so many options. If you can't do this, you can do this. All right, so we enter that level 1. 12.8. Kaya Mataji.
Just fix your mind upon me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and engage all your intelligence in me. Thus you will live in me always without a doubt.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. So this is the progressive form of devotion service. The first class of devotee, what do? They are pure devotee, like Prabhupada, all the Goswamis, the previous Vaishnava Acharyas, our gurus, spiritual masters. So they are in this category. 24 hours they engage in thinking of Krishna, speaking of Krishna, learning about Krishna, doing things for Krishna. 24 hours. Like Ambarisha Maharaj, you know, the chakra that wants to come and kill the demon, that Maharaja Ambarisha, although he's king, but he engaged his senses from tip to toe in serving Krishna. Okay, oh mighty arm son of Kunti, it is undoubtedly very difficult to curb the restless mind, but it is possible by suitable practice and by detachment. So you can apply this for anything and everything actually, isn't it? Right, so it's a good value-based lesson here. All right, so Krishna will go on. So now Krishna is mentioning, what do these pure devotees do? Fix your mind upon me. What else they do? How do they spend 24 hours thinking of Krishna other than fixing their mind upon him?
Engage
Engage your
all
intelligence
the
in me.
intelligence in
Yes,
me.
engage all your intelligence in me. Okay, so when all your intelligence is engaged, then your senses, your mind, your heart, all will follow suit. All right. However, there is a challenge. What do you think the challenge is here?
Not
24
doubting.
hours. Sorry, Mataji.
Nothing, Mataji, sorry.
Okay. So what could be the challenge for us to spend 24 hours thinking of Krishna? This is very related to the verse that we just covered. The question Arjuna asked Krishna.
Difficult.
What is difficult, Prabhu?
Engaging
Your
24
mind.
hours.
Yeah.
Engaging your mind 24 hours.
Why? What is the symptom of this mind? If you can
Go
recall.
to work, you'll think about work.
It's a monkey mind.
Monkey mind, thinking about work. Very good. So when you say monkey mind, what characteristic is that? Why do we say monkey?
In and out.
Not
In-
focus, not focus.
Okay.
Overthinking.
Right?
Attachment.
Okay.
Keep
And
changing.
Restless.
yeah, Kush Mataji say that.
Restless.
Restless. Yeah, that is the word that I'm looking for. Restless. And then somebody also said thinking about this and that, in and out. So the mind is restless, mind is wandering. Okay. So therefore, not everybody can come to this level. This is the challenge. Okay, don't worry. Krishna is giving an option. Next option, macam mana? Krishna is giving in level 2. 12.9, Brinda Mataji.
My dear Arjuna, O winner of wealth, if you cannot fix your mind upon me without deviation, then follow the regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga. In this way, develop a desire to attain me.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. So 12.8 was referring to somebody who already has strong attachment to Krishna. Okay, in 12.9, Krishna is referring to someone who is trying to develop attachment to Krishna, or those who have not developed love for Krishna. And this is called bhakti in practice or sadhana bhakti. Okay, before you go to pure bhakti, you want to practice first. Okay, so here Krishna is recommending them to follow the principles of Bhakti Yoga. So these are not the 4 regulative principles that I have probably mentioned before. Anybody can tell me what are the 4 regulative principles? Kartini Mataji, do you know the 4 regulative principles?
Eating prasad, is it? Harinam
No,
Maha Mantra.
no, 4 regulatory principles. One is no meat eating.
Oh, no meat eating, no smoking and drinking, no illicit sex, and no intox.
Okay, no illicit sex. And what's the 4th one, Mataji?
No gambling.
Yes. Okay, these are 4 regulative principles. Okay, what we are talking about here is regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga. So these are 2 different things. 4 regulative principles is not only applicable for spiritual people or religious people, but it should be applicable and followed by everyone. Because if you follow this generally, then the entire world will be improper, it will be regulated. The life itself will be regulated. However, a step further is regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga. And what are these? These are this picture here, right? What is this?
Is it yoga or meditation?
Okay, this is about waking up early in the morning. All right, it's actually reflecting that we should not sleep late in the morning. So this is regulatory principle Bhakti Yoga example. All right, and then when you wake up, what do? You take a bath, you open the altar, you do your prayers, and then you sit down for your chanting. All right, this is one example of regulated principle Bhakti Yoga. Waking up in the morning, your morning chores. All right, you immediately take a bath. All right, and then what else? You pluck flowers, you offer, and then probably you'll offer some fruits to Krishna. Okay, you're chanting. So this, that. And then next, you offer little worship, like you offer puja, arati, incense, dupa, deepa. All these are regulative principle of bhakti. What else? Second picture here. Cooking and offering the food to Krishna and taking it as prasadam. Okay, that one. Number 3, hearing the message of Bhagavad Gita or scriptures, constantly hearing. Okay, so you're engaging your ears in that sense. Finally, okay, this is chanting, that is also covered. Okay, so these are Bhakti Yoga. Okay, anyway, there is a challenge here. Okay, how do you engage? Is with the guidance of a teacher or a guru. All right, so what challenge could be here? What could be?
Challenge to
Yeah,
Getting the guru.
getting
Oh.
the
To find a
To find a guru, is it?
Discipline yourself to
Yes,
follow
discipline. Very good. What else?
all the conditions, the conditions mentioned just now.
Which one, Prabhu?
Just now you say no gambling and all that.
Okay. So that one is not for devotee, that's for like general people. But anyway, don't worry about that yet. Okay, what else?
Without
Thinking of
deviation.
Krishna 24 hours.
Yeah, this is an option for that.
The
So that's
desire.
what else? Okay, let's say you have the discipline, you have the desire for Krishna and everything. What else could be the impediment here? Can everybody do this? What could be your challenge? Maybe you could be a single student in your house and you are actually dependent on your father and mother to provide the facilities, so probably you don't have that.
The environment.
Yes, correct. So all covered already. Determination. Actually, I thought discipline is something that you all cannot answer. I underestimated you all. So sorry about that. So I changed it to determination, lifestyle, facility. So this may not be possible for everyone, but if you have already like seriously you want to develop your spiritual life, you want to develop attachment to Krishna, yes, because this is don't think this is very high level, everybody can do. You can simply offer some milk, and even though you're not a vegetarian or you're not cooking at home, you can always find some fruits and just offer. Right, so that's thing. In the morning you can wake up and do some chanting, take some flowers and offer. It's a very simple thing, and then you just put it on some YouTube recording. You can listen to Krishna's stories. You can do that, and then you can take your chanting bit and you can chant. It's as simple as that. It's actually very simple. All right, it's not very difficult. So as you do this, the other 4 regulatory principles all will fall in line. You'll be surprised how that happens. Okay, all right. So for those who can't do this because of these impediments, and Krishna gives the next option. Yeah, don't worry.
Options.
Yeah, Krishna's so kind. Level 3. So here Krishna is giving some other option here. 12.10, Pushpa Mataji. Pushpa Mataji. Unmute Mataji, maybe you are muted. Push Mataji, are you with your mom?
Sorry, I'm not with my mom. Let me just.
Pushpa Mataji.
I don't know why she's not there.
Okay, I'm
me,
is it? Sorry, Mataji.
I'm
Pushpa
here.
Mataji. Okay, you're back. Okay.
Yeah, I'm
So
here.
sorry. Okay.
Okay, if you
No,
cannot,
Pushpa Mataji, right? Who gave the name for 12.10? Sorry, because I just got Pushpa here, so I don't know which Pushpa.
that's me, Kush's mother.
Okay,
My
Mataji, go ahead.
If you cannot practice the regulations of Bhakti Yoga, then just try to work for me. Because by working for me, you will come to the perfect stage.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. So here Krishna is encouraging such people who cannot engage in the regulated principles of Bhakti. You can spend your results in working for Krishna, which means you be sympathetic towards Krishna conscious activities. Right? Krishna is telling here, engage your senses and work for Krishna. For example, in December, we had, the massive flood season, and our temple started cooking mass prasad.
Food for life.
Yeah, food for life. I'm not getting the word. Yeah, food for life. So what I did, I spread that news to all my Gita Gyan groups. I think I have like 1, 2, 3, 4 groups, I think. And some of the, the ladies, they cannot come out. So they gave donation, they transfer donation. And those who are students and youngsters, they may not be able to give so much of money, but they came over to help with the cutting and packing, all right? And some, they went along to distribute the food. So like this, you're actually engaging either your money or your energy, your time in Krishna conscious activities. So this is very, very much welcome. Even until now, when we have festivals, those ladies who cannot come out because they have kids or the husband is busy, they just couldn't come out, say they give this kind of contribution. In any ways, Krishna will recognize their contribution. So you're actually giving some of your results in Krishna conscious activities, and therefore your existence and earning is purified in that way. Okay, if you look at this picture here, there are some ladies, they're buying books, Krishna conscious books. And this one, I really don't know what picture is this. I think it's books as well. All right, here you can buy some flowers on the way and you come to Jagannath temple, for example, whichever temple is near to you, offer that flowers. 1 ringgit, 2 ringgit, 3 ringgit, only flowers. So you can just buy that and offer, just bring like a buah tangan. Even you go to people's house, you bring something, right? So like that, you bring that to Krishna temple. Or very simple, if you don't know what to do, what to buy, it's a last minute thing, just put some money in the donation box. Your money will be utilized in Krishna conscious services. Again, your earning is purified that way. So that way you're actually slowly you're practicing detachment. Okay, so that is important. That is what Krishna is saying, renunciation in work and renunciation of fruits. All right, it's not renunciation of work. All right, it's renunciation in work. And how do you do renunciation in work? You renounce some of your fruits. Okay, we can't renounce everything because we need some fruit for our family, isn't it? So some of the fruits. Okay, so working for me. If still cannot, no money, Mataji, or I don't have car to go to temple. All right, so what do? For example, celebrities, they got no time to do all these activities. What do? They do this activity. Okay, so the challenge could be monetary, again, lifestyle, and no proper facilities. So again, this could be the challenges. So, okay, before we move on to the second option, who is this? Do you know? I'm sure.
The Beatles.
The Beatles. And who is this person on the top?
George Harrison.
George Harrison. And you know, this building here is donated by George Harrison to ISKCON in 1972, 1970, yeah, 1970s. Okay, so he was not able to take initiation because due to his the artistic engagements. However, he provided all kind of supports to Srila Prabhupada and the devotees. Okay, and this was a huge contribution by George Harrison. This is called Bhaktivedanta Manor. All right, it was actually a building in the tea estate or something. All right, and he also composed a song called My Sweet Lord. It's on internet as well. You can actually Google it up. Okay, so this is how you can do work in Krishna conscious. Of course, I don't expect you to donate a big bungalow, but something, right? Like as small as flowers or some donation to help some our Food for Life efforts like that. Okay, I think.
I've been to this temple, Mataji.
Yeah, sorry?
Yes,
Oh, you've
I've been to this temple.
I think that would be my life goal.
There's a lot of land.
Mm.
So in my uni, they had this thing called Sewa Day. So all of us went to ISKCON. This ISKCON before Deepavali, and we went and did Sewa, like Goshala farming.
Oh, they have Goshala, right? Right. So is this his wife? I'm not aware of this person. Okay. All right. So that's how. Okay. Now, those who can't do 12.10. Okay, which means the work in Krishna consciousness. Remember, if you cannot practice the regulation of Bhakti Yoga, then just try to work for me. By working for me, you will come to the perfect stage. So if for those who can't do that, they can, Krishna gave two options, 12.11 and 12.2, 12.12. All right, but these are not spiritual. Yeah, just have to remind yourself, this is not spiritual. The other three were spiritual. This is not. However, it all leads to the ultimate path. All right, so let's go to 12.11 first. Khushi Mataji.
Yes. If, however, you are unable to work in this consciousness of me, then try to act giving up all results of your work and try to be self-situated.
All right, so thank you, Mataji. So here Krishna is encouraging. What Krishna is encouraging here? You can relate to the pictures on the side.
Help others, donate.
Contribute in goodwill.
Very good, right? Service to the mankind or good cause or dan dharma. donations, contributions, welfare activities. So here Krishna is saying, if you can't give it to Krishna, you should give it to some welfare programs. Okay, but we must understand again that this is not spiritual, this is material, because when you do this, you're accumulating. What are you accumulating?
Good karma.
Good karma. And what happens when you accumulate good karma?
You can't reach Goloka.
So how can you?
You end up spending them.
Yes, Sam Prabhu, can you explain the process? Can
I'm not sure. You can spend them, finish, and then you have to restart again.
Yes. Okay, go vacation and come back. All right, so that's it. Yeah. All right, so you can, for example, you can give for hospitals, children homes, old folks home. Okay, so these are material welfares. Okay, so generally people do not really make a spiritual advancement in this line, but it helps them to feel little detached from the material world, because the fruit is what is binding us to this material world, because we want to enjoy, we work, we want to enjoy, we work, we want to enjoy. So some of the result you give to this kind of good causes, so gradually detachment will come. All right, so basically it's about, don't work only for yourself, do some charity. All right, for during COVID time, they were sometimes you want to help people, so you can't, then you donate online. So it's very dynamic, this thing is very dynamic, right? You don't have to just go down Turun Padang to do everything. So if you're not able to give to Krishna conscious activities, then give it to society's activities, that is also okay. All right, it's better than not doing anything or being very selfish and keeping all the opulence to yourself. Okay, so you have to see, when you see everybody is part and parcel of Krishna and you want to be friendly to all living beings, then this is good to follow. Okay, so if you can't do this, Krishna giving
And Mataji, I think just to add on, it should be done genuinely as well.
Yes, that's true. Genuinely, otherwise there is no point you're feeling detached. Actually, you're not detached. Your conscious still attached to the fruit, which is name, fame, and glory. All right, so that is important. So whatever we do, the consciousness is very important. Okay, it's not the activity, it's the consciousness. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for that. Okay, so if you can't do this, no money, cannot do anything, cannot go anywhere, you're on your own. So what do? Krishna is suggesting this one. 12:12, Sam Prabhu.
If you cannot take to this practice, then engage yourself in the cultivation of knowledge. Better than knowledge, however, is meditation. And better than meditation is renunciation of the fruits of action. For by such renunciation, one can attain peace of mind.
All right, thank you, Prabhu. So let's take out points from here. If you can't do all those welfare activities, what is Krishna suggesting here?
Get knowledge, cultivate your knowledge.
Cultivate of knowledge. Very good. What kind of knowledge? Do you remember in chapter 2? What knowledge Krishna gave us first? The difference between analytical study of, it was called Sankhya Yoga. So what is Sankhya Yoga? Analytical study of what we studied in chapter 2. Murid-murid.
Of study of the body and soul.
Yes, matter and spiritual, body and soul. This knowledge has to be cultivated. If you can't do any of those, level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, at least you start from here. So better than knowledge is, once you get the knowledge, what do we do?
Meditate.
Meditate. Meditate on, what is the object of the meditation? We have mentioned this term so many times, even today. Meditate on ourselves,
On the form of Krishna.
What is it
Paramatma?
particularly? Yes, correct. Very good. Paramatma. Okay, super soul, to realize super soul. Better than meditation. Because remember, meditation, Krishna says, is difficult. Not Krishna say,
Renunciation of the fruits of action.
Renunciation.
Yes, because Arjuna says it's difficult, and then Krishna say, okay, yes, dhyana is difficult, but practice with detachment, you can do that. However, Krishna always concludes that better than renouncing everything and sitting and meditating, it's better you renounce the fruits of action. That is practical. So at least we can do this. We can do this at the least, right? We can start by doing this. But I think you all are not here. I think you all advanced already, but this is just an information to see where we are. We should reflect and we must work our way up. Okay, finally, why are we doing all this? What are we trying to achieve?
Peace of mind.
Yes, ultimately we want to achieve peace. Okay, so alternative to work for general society is acquiring knowledge, performing, doing meditation, and renouncing fruits of action. Okay, so can we recap that verse just now? If you can't engage in welfare activities, what do we do? Quickly.
Cultivation of
Meditate on
knowledge.
Cultivate
Paramatma.
of knowledge. Very good. What kind of knowledge?
Meditation.
Soul and
Soul
Body
and
and
body.
material.
Yes, knowledge of soul, different from the body. It's called Brahmanyana. Okay, better than knowledge is
meditation.
meditation to realize.
Super soul, Paramatma.
Very good, very good. Meditation to realize super soul. Better than meditation is
Renunciation.
Fruits of action.
renunciation of.
The fruits.
Fruits of action.
Very good. Fruits of action. In order for us to obtain.
Peace of
Peace
mind.
of mind.
Very good. Done. Okay. So just take one look at this, and that is how. Okay. So this renunciation, cultivation, meditation, this is the beginning stage. This is where a person who wants to begin their spiritual life, they can start from here. And then slowly they can start working for Krishna. Okay, and then as they develop attachment to Krishna, they can follow the regulatory principles of sadhana bhakti. And then this is the perfection of the sadhana bhakti. After sadhana bhakti, it becomes pure bhakti, kevala bhakti. All right, so this is the progressive stage of devotion. Okay, so I will not recap this. I think we have done this few times already. You all remember, right? What is the first one? What is the first class? First class or devotee, what do they do?
Think of Krishna for 24 hours.
Very good. If you can't do that,
And then you wake up early.
Follow the
Okay.
regulative principles.
Or pray
Yes.
to Krishna.
Kushmataji, can you repeat that, please?
Follow the regulative principles.
Yes, very good. Okay. If you can't do that, Param Prabhu, if you can't do this too, what can we do? Jai Silam Prabhu? Anybody else?
Engage on services.
This and work for Krishna.
Engage on
Okay.
Krishna
Balance and
services.
services.
Yes, yes. Okay, support Krishna services. If you can't do this, Krishna give two options. One is
Donate to human welfare.
Yeah,
Ooh.
donate to human welfare.
Yes.
Renouncing.
Very good. Okay. Finally, if you can't do that,
Find knowledge.
Go for
Mm.
knowledge.
Find knowledge, meditation, and
and
renunciation.
meditation.
very good. Wonderful. Okay. So one last sloka, Haridas Pushpamataji, can you do this?
Those who follow this.
Hare Krishna.
Hi, Krishna Mataji.
Those who follow this imperishable path of devotional service and who completely engage themselves with faith, making me the Supreme God, are very, very dear to me.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. So these people or devotees, they are very dear to Krishna. Tiva me priyaha. Priyaha means very dear. Okay, and how do they engage themselves? With great faith. Okay, they make Krishna as a supreme goal. And these are the qualities that Krishna wants to see from the devotees. Okay, so in this way, Krishna has explained the worship of his personal feature because he reciprocates in his personal feature. He is just not some vigraha, some metal, some rock, some wood. Okay, he reciprocates. Okay. So on that conclusion, we have a beautiful story where Krishna comes as a witness. He witnesses something, and when things went wrong, and he was called to provide his testimony. So Krishna came to do that. Okay, if I narrate this story, I'll probably take 5 minutes, but we have a nice video here actually with a little Bharatanatyam inside. It's very nice actually because Krishna comes. And so do you want me to narrate, or you want me to share this video in the group? Because we can go for our discussion if anybody is rushing to leave. What do you think? Should I narrate or should I share the video in the group?
Can narrate, Mataji, and also share the video.
Okay, so everybody okay? Okay. Right, so this is about personal form of the Lord. Okay, so one day, one time, one old Brahmana, rich Brahmana, okay, he went to Vrindavan for parikram, for pilgrimage. Okay, there he fell sick, and because he was so old, there was nobody to take care of him, and there came along a poor Brahmana, poor young Brahmana to take care of this old man. Okay, so he took care of him very nicely, and he got recovered. So this old rich Brahmana, he was so pleased with the service and care, hospitality of this young boy, and he said, okay, you have done a very nice service for me, you know, I want to give you something, so I think I want to give you the hand of my youngest daughter. Right, so the Brahmana, the poor Brahmana, he said, oh no, don't simply promise, because probably you will have some objections from your family, and you are so rich. I don't think you want to give your youngest daughter to me. I'm so poor. No. I am the leader of the family. They will listen to me. So this is my word. I'm giving my word. No, you have to tell that in front of this deity. So he had a deity. It's called Gopal. All right, so the old Brahmana, the rich old Brahmana, he promised in front of the deity that he's going to give the hand of his youngest daughter to this poor Brahmana. And then he went back home. So his house was in Jagannath Puri, and this was in Vrindavan. All right, so when he went there and he mentioned about this, what happened in Vrindavan, that a young man, he actually helped me, he took care of me, and I'm living because he's helped me. All right, but in return, I am giving him the hand of our daughter. So the brother and the mother were furious. How could you promise something like that to somebody? All right. So this thing was going on. It's been some time, and this young man, he never heard from this old rich Brahmana ever since. So he took a trip to Jagannath Puri. He paid a visit to this old Brahmana, and he asked, you promised me that you're going to marry off your daughter to me. It's been some time already. There is no news from you. So what's happening? And then the brother came out, and there was a chaos saying that you are so poor. You actually cheated my father of the money. Now you are actually gotten a promise from him, you know, to marry off our sister to you, or you are not a good guy, like that. So there were lots of conversation going on and debate, and the young man, he said, actually, I have a witness, and the witness is my Gopal. And in this belief, and the brother challenged him, okay, if it is true, bring your Gopal here and ask him to tell him with his own mouth that my father has indeed promised this to you. All right, so very upset, but with great firm faith, he went back to Vrindavan, and he told the Gopal that, you know, they are not believing me. This happened in front of you. You need to come and bear witness. You need to come and give your testimony that this has happened. And then the Lord said, okay, I will come, but with one condition, that when I'm walking, my ankle bell will make sounds. All right, so in that way you will know that I'm coming behind you, but you should not turn back and see no matter what happens. All right, so like this they were going on. All right, they walked to Jagannath Puri, and one day the ankle bell sound stopped. All right, we don't know what's the reason. Stopped, and he immediately turned back to see, and the Lord actually turned back into stone. So this is what Gopal will say. If you turn back to see whether I'm coming or not, I'm going to turn myself back into stone like now. Okay. So that happened, but they were actually very near to the village already. So he ran back to the village and say, see, the Gopal came, but I made a mistake. I turned back, and he actually turned to stone. All right, so all the villagers came, and of course they thought that it's not possible for him to carry such a big, huge stone all the way to Vrindavan and come. This happened many thousands of years ago. So it's not possible for him to transport that deity here. All right. So at that time, the Lord will, with his voice, he will say, yes, this has happened. This man actually promised to give this his daughter to this young man, and now he is not fulfilling his promise. So like that, the thing was solved, and the king of Jagannath Puri built a temple at that place where the Lord became stone again. And because he was born as a witness, he was called Sakshi Gopal, or Witness Gopal. Okay, so that's about the story. Okay, so the man will ask forgiveness, and he will give the daughter to the young man, the poor man. Okay, so this story actually shows that you can actually personally see Krishna and talk to him, and the reciprocation is real. So this is to reflect that story, the concept. Okay, so okay, yeah, these are the examples of the principles of Bhakti Yoga. All right, should rise early in the morning, take a bath, enter the temple and offer prayers, chanting, collect flowers to offer to the deity, offer vegetarian food stuff to Krishna, which means no egg, meat, onion, garlic, caffeine. All right, taking prasadam, and constantly reading and hearing scriptures. Okay, this practice can help anyone rise to the level of love of Godhead, and then he is sure of his progress into the spiritual kingdom of God. The practice of Bhakti Yoga under the rules and regulations with the direction of a spiritual master will surely bring one to the stage of love of Godhead. Okay, so you can reflect and see in these 12 days, 2 weeks plus, how you have actually made changes in your life, if any of these have, taken place. Okay, so we can share another day. Okay, time is running. One last slide. Anybody would like to read, please? Anyone?
Okay, Hare Krishna, I'll do that.
Yes, Prabhu.
Oh Hare Nama, oh Hare Nama, oh
Name sung by the
name sung by sages, oh transcendental syllabus that bring bliss to the people, even you are spoken only once. And even if you are spoken disrespectfully, you at once remove the many harsh sufferings of everyone.
Yes, thank you, Prabhu. Okay, this is the glory of the Maha Mantra. Okay, so I would like to stop this here, and